Memoirs are public statements from our inner voices. We cleanse, make sense of, and reach out through our memoirs. Are our memoirs a declaration of our search for meaning? Is it a call to others in an attempt to connect? Is there any valuable purpose in producing memoirs? To trace the possible value, I visited a select number of personal narratives by sorting through key works noted by credible university press publishers and recommended supported documentation. We have journeyed through these musings together. Let's collect the thoughts and reduce the discoveries to manageable key points. We have a gush of memoirs after World War II and a gush of memoirs around the turn of the 21st century. What inspired these contributing voices to produce memoirs? Is there a connection between protecting our country's borders, the work we do, our purpose, pride, identity, and the current opening of our country's borders? Changing the work we do, our purpose, pride, and our identity. Conversing through this mini-study as a hybrid between memoir and research, we have reached a point where I will introduce and clarify common inspiration themes found in the preparatory reading I have done. Gender of the author makes no difference, and the point of the majority of memoirs during the times we are exploring contains strong connections and involvement with people. That may not surprise you, since what else would an author's memoirs of self-reflection be about if connections with other people were not the focus of the author's figuring? People find connections and respect nature with animals by planting, tending, growing, and getting nourished by that labor. But there are not as many memoirs about exploring the past to understand the present, as Murdoch says on page 19, focusing on these earthly connections. I think we are on the right track keeping our eyes on human connections. We have recurrent themes through our memoirs that are personal relationships, the country we live in, the work we do, our purpose, pride, and identity. The primary investigation is what, if any, common inspirations sparked memoir producers to use their resources of time and money to reveal their stories. We have discovered values to the author and the participant observer, which in turn should have some trickle effect to our society. Since I have found from the work from scholars that memoirs can have positive effects by connecting people and trying to make sense of the past, we can say produced memoirs have been a valuable historical medium and a personal stabilizing method, both of which contribute to a mindful society. I don't see the value in arguing against the opportunity to have a learning society. I suggest that approaching the power that saw such works through to completion, further study may be initiated to view the possible rationalization and value added to self and global society. Risk. We cannot forget the authors face great risk revealing themselves through open and honest genre of memoirs. Have you looked into yourself? I mean, really looked? It takes courage to traipse through experience that bring you to today. Even knowing as we uncovered the benefits of writing memoirs, the author's cost of risk should be appreciated as part of the process. Is there power that results in the balance of such risk? Well-performed memoirs are good for us as audience members. Memoirs can reveal a lot about the culture of the time, and we can find personal connections in memoirs produced in many forms, like writings, performance, and digital medium, to list a few. We discussed the human factor which connects us all in some fashion or another. I would say, based on our conversational findings, there is great power that can be realized for the author and the observer of memoirs. The list of personal benefits and societal benefits that ended up filtering through our discussion are making sense of our lives, personal relationships, the country and society in which we live, the work that we do, our purpose, pride, and identity. In conclusion, I might find that performing personal narratives can add enabling value to the author, while potentially transferring a level of discourse or reasoning power to the reader. If more people were aware of the inspirations memoirists had, maybe more people would be inspired to explore memoir recording. Why not learn and connect with others using this medium? If our ultimate goal is to make sense of our lives and how we are living our lives within our societies, why not learn how to write and get published or perform your memoirs? Can we find reasons to bridge over the cost of time, money, and risk to the memoirist incurs? In the brief history of humanity, many stories are not recorded for which we do not know the full extent of our unawareness. To come close to assessing what we may be losing by not producing memoirs, we took a look at the value added from the memoirs that were produced. Value to awareness, change, and growth of individuals and societies. As individuals create meanings, and individuals make up societies. Melting down some key points as to why people perform personal narratives may encourage more people to participate as mindful members of society. Contributing voices, inspirations preceding produced memoirs, is a continuing conversation in a memoir form, enjoying the connections of those of us who sought out mentors and work with them while we listen to their conversationally produced memoirs. We learned about awareness, change, and growth. We learned about the makeup of our changing country, the work we do, our developing purpose, pride, identity, and most of all, we learned the value and power of being a contributing voice and being a respectful listener. This is our time and our journey. Thanks for joining me.